Ïing Dorbar thawaan ke jala Meghalaya haka arpoi tari unai lur arjar pulai kala kentaj ban menjur ya ke resolution ban pyrshah jingtreikam ke uniform civil code ladni ke UCC haka jala Meghalaya. Yakni ke resolution lawan ra daw nong thawaan ke Congress na mahati uba Charles Marngar haka sngi basaw jong ke Dorbar senrai joka Ïing haka ba ulapan pau baka jingtreikam ya ke UCC kan keta ikiriu lum haka jala haki babod kiliang. Hadian kejikshin benta da kiwegi dikot kum uba Charles Pingrop, Kamiani di Shira, uba Ronnie Villingdo, uba da unong yalam kaliang pyrshah, usaleng sangma, u Dr. Mukul sangma nolor kiwepat. Menteri rang ba kajala, u Konrad Kis sangma, haba jubab ketega resolution ulaong. Makampat don kanu kejing keran halor ketega kod, lakalong haka Sarkar India, Lok Sabha ni Raja Sabha. Kumta unam la ban ong ie nomor 4 yo e kapang jong ka UCC da ka ai nuksa bala da ka UCC ka ong ban ai jat kemino habora ko igri India ka jala Meghalaya kan dei ka baningkong ban pdiang.
Mr. Speaker, sir, why I bring this resolution before this August House? The reason is that I had a vision. If this uniform civil code is implemented or being operated fully as an act, then it will have major impact on the interests of the minorities and the state as a whole. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm very happy that during the summer session, the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council and the Gentle Hills Autonomous District Council passes resolution to oppose Uniform Civil Code in order to safeguard, to protect the interests of the indigenous people as provided under the 6th schedule of Indian Constitution. Mr. Speaker, sir, if Uniform Civil Code is implemented, then it will affect the 6th schedule of the Constitution of India. If UCC, Uniform Civil Code, is implemented, it also will affect the law-making power of the District Council as per Para 3A, mentioned that the District Council has power to make law on land. Number 2, power to make law on inheritance property. And number 3, marriage and divorce. And number 4, the social custom. Mr. Speaker, sir, if Uniform Civil Code came into, it will affect all the lawmaking of the District Council and might be diluted, and hence the power of the District Council will be greatly affected. Mr. Speaker, sir, it will definitely have an impact on the traditional custom and usage of the indigenous people of the state of Meghalaya. The indigenous people, be it Khasis, Jantias, and Garos, has their own custom and traditional on marriage, has their own traditional inheritance property, marriage and divorce, succession, adoption, guardianship, etc., that are still strictly followed till date. Chairman, sir, I am afraid that family breakdown will increase day by day, and it will have huge impact in the society. Mr. Chairman, sir, the National Law Commission, after taking the public consultation, the report was submitted in the year 2018, and it has clearly stated that the Uniform Civil Code is not needed.
So the Uniform Civil Code, or in short the UCC, is a concept that proposes the unification of personal laws across all religions in a country. In India, where diverse religious and cultural practices coexist, implementing a UCC has been a topic of considerable debate and discussion. But, however, let us consider the pros and cons of the UCC in terms of addressing the debate. What are the pros and cons? I will go straight to the disadvantages. So, the threat to minority rights. Opponents of the UCC argue that it could undermine the rights of religious minorities, as it might seek to impose a uniform set of laws on diverse religious communities. So, India's cultural and religious diversity is a fundamental aspect of its identity, and some argue that the UCC could erode this diversity and infringe upon the rights of minority communities to practice their faith and follow their customs. So point number 2 is the cultural sensitivity and identity. India's social fabric is woven with diverse cultural practices and traditions, which are often intertwined with religion. Implementing a UCC could be seen as a threat to this cultural sensitivity and individual identity, as it might require some individuals to conform to a uniform legal framework that may not align with their cultural practices and beliefs. So there are the challenges of implementation, sir. How do you implement a UCC in India, where present significant challenges due to the country's vast population and diversity? See, these are potential logistical hurdles would make the implementation process complex and time-consuming. Another disadvantage, which is very important to note, is the potential for social unrest. The potential for social unrest. Given the deep-rooted religious and cultural sensitivities in India, the introduction of UCC could potentially trigger social unrest and conflicts. Opponents argue that attempts to oppose a uniform set of laws could be perceived as an encroachment on religious freedom and lead to polarization and communal tensions.
This Uniform Civil Code has not been passed, but it has been brought to our notice that it may be passed in the near future. Therefore, I think it is very necessary for the members of this Honorable August House to understand what it will bring for us as citizens of the country. We all know that Meghalaya is a very diverse state. We have different communities. If we look at ourselves in comparison with the entire different communities of the country, we see that we are a minority. and we are also a Christian majority state. Now, having said that, we know that even though we are a Christian state, we have different ethnic minorities within the state of Meghalaya. And I think it is only right for us to anticipate what these kind of laws might bring in the near future. So therefore, sir, I think the respect for the diverse community is the glue to the nation. The government of the day, in fact, should adopt this resolution like the other state assemblies in the state of Mizoram and Nagaland and Kerala have adopted a resolution opposing to the Uniform Civil Code.
What the Constitution has been guaranteeing to us, that should be protected. Because if you have the Uniform Civil Code, sir, what will be the impact on the 6th schedule of the Constitution? Once that is affected, sir, I think practically the tribal way of life, the tribal, everything will be affected. So, sir, I also support this resolution because we feel that UCC is not at this time desirable. In fact, the 21st Law Commission had said it is not desirable at this time. And in fact, sir, the Constitution, there is nothing that says that within a stipulated period, this Uniform Civil Code should be implemented. So if the 21st Law Commission has, expressed explicitly it is not desirable now, I don't know what is the need now to bring this Uniform Civil Code, sir. So I don't have much to say, sir, because other members have already deliberated upon this point. I also resume my seat, sir, by again stressing, emphasizing that this House, we have to oppose the Uniform Civil Code, taking into consideration the future, the everything of the state of Meghalaya and our beloved people of this state.
I am totally against, and we are all totally against, and I believe, not only from the opposition, even from the treasury also, we should all be against. We should be worrying about what will happen if the UCC is placed before the, if it is placed before the legislator. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, since everybody has spoken all their ideas and views, I don't want to dodge here and there, but would like to request that we should send a clear message that the Meghalaya, being the Christian state, we should not be, we should not be succumbing to any kind of rule of law that they will be passing every now and then. We are a diverse county. We should respect each and everybody, and each and every tribe, each and every community, each and every religion.
There will be an impact on minority communities. Communities in Meghalaya might feel marginalized and disadvantaged by UCC, which could lead to sense of alienation and discrimination, sir. So I would like to quote from what our Honorable Chief said in the Times of India. Meghalaya CM opposes Uniform Civil Code, fears negative impact on tribal culture. So I appreciate our Honorable Chief for opposing UCC. So, lastly, it is crucial for Government of the Day to carefully consider these drawbacks and challenges. And I requested the Government of the Day to engage extensive consultations with local communities, religious leaders, and local experts.
Uniform Civil Code is a long political ideology of the BJP to strengthen its root for vote bank politics across the majority Hindi regions of the country. UCC, I fear, will have a direct impact on our autonomous council, as what the mover had mentioned. I reiterate the same. And also our social and customary practices. Because unlike Mizoram and Nagaland, where they have Article 3721A and G respectively, whether Legislative Assembly can have a veto power. Any act of Parliament that is in conflict with the socio-customary practices of the Nagas and Mizo, 6 schedules does not provide such power to the district council as such. Sir, I will not take much of every one precious time in this very august house. It is a very vital issue which brought by our honorable member. Therefore, I urge the House to pass a resolution against UCC.
The different leaders of different political parties from across the nation who have their representative in both the houses of the parliament will be able to understand the sentiments which start echoing from all parts of the country, representing all of us, including the people of the state of Meghalaya. So, through you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I will only submit and pray that let this particular issue be adopted as a part of the resolution. We have done it so in the past, when we looked at the necessity to come together to adopt a resolution in this August House, keeping in mind the changed circumstances vis-a-vis the felt need to have the introduction of ILP. We did come together at that point of time. We did take an unanimous decision and adopted a resolution here. Therefore, there is unanimity in this regard. There is no lack of unanimity, and therefore I will only submit before this August House, through you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, to prevail upon the government to adopt a resolution. I am sure the government has taken cognizance of this feeling. This feeling is palpable not only across our state, but across the nation. So we are to go as per the aspirations and expectations of the people. We are here only on behalf of the people, and we only articulate the voice on their behalf.
The Uniform Civil Code is something that is not acceptable to us, because we are a diverse nation, and in the diversity lies our strength, and hence the idea or the concept of a Uniform Civil Code is not acceptable to us. And that has been the stand that I have given as the Chief Minister of the state, as well as the President of my political party. And hence, sir, let there be no doubt that when it comes to looking at the UCC and the possibility of it coming as a bill, and then the possibility of it being passed, we as a state, as a government, and as political parties, we are all very much against this concept or this idea of a UCC. But having said that, the question arises that can we as legislatures today specifically oppose or pass a resolution without knowing the content of the bill? Our stand outside the House can be on the ideas that we have. We can speak without any documentation. We can speak based on what we presume may happen. We can speak on the basis of what we think may happen. And it's not something that will be responsible because it's outside in the public domain. Of course, public will judge us, but it is not something that will be in the House. But as legislatures today, if we are to oppose a particular bill or oppose the UCC, the first thing we need to have in front of us is the UCC bill itself. Now, I don't know, maybe some of the members have seen the bill, but I have not seen the UCC bill. I have no idea what the UCC bill has. I don't even know whether it mentions that tribals will be protected or tribals will be exempted. I don't know. Or that the state of Meghalaya will be exempted, Northeast will be exempted, or it will only apply to a particular society. So therefore, without having the actual bill in front of us, as legislatures, and without going through the content of what the bill intends to do, it really will not be appropriate for us at this point in time to pass a resolution simply because we don't know, or there is no bill, there is nothing that has been moved. Yes, there is a fear, no doubt. Yes, there are apprehensions. Yes, there are concerns. And of course, if all the points that have been mentioned by the honorable members is going to be a part, which we have no idea whether it will or it will not. If it's going to be, then of course, the whole state and this whole house will stand united and ensure that we will pass the resolution. But as I said, outside the house, we are free to act and speak and give all our opinions based on what we think about this issue, and come with our stand as political parties, as individuals, as political leaders, and give the statements in the press. But when it comes to actual passing of a resolution, specifics, which particular para, which particular which particular section of the bill, which particular concept of the bill, or which particular idea, as legislatures, at the end of the day, it is necessary for us to be able to go through that and come then pass a resolution based on what was going to be in the bill. Therefore, sir, we have debated about this. In fact, I would like to share that a large number of the MDA partners, our honorable member from Jirang and other members from different constituencies, we discussed about this in the MDA meeting just before the assembly session. And we discussed in detail for a long time on how we should proceed with this idea. And all of us have then come to the conclusion that yes, as a concept and as an idea, the UCC goes against the entire idea of India, which is the diversity. And yes, we oppose the overall idea of a UCC. But as legislatures, it is only when we see the draft of the bill, then only will we be able to take a stand on what are the aspects that are going to be there. Therefore, the question arises whether we are going to stand, are we going to be against the dilution of any kind of rights of the tribals? Yes, of course. If there is anything in the bill that is going to touch or dilute the cultural and the religious practices of the tribals and indigenous people of our region, this government, the MDA government, and I'm sure this entire house is going to oppose that particular move, sir. So therefore, let there be no doubt that we are completely united when it comes to any kind of move by anybody, including the parliament, when it comes to a point where there are laws that may be brought to dilute our rights and our principles and our culture or our practices. This house will stand united to oppose that. But till the point where we are not able to see what it is, whether in fact there is no bill that has been brought, forget the idea of passing it. A lot of members said that what if this is passed? My question is, what is passed? There's nothing. They say that, well, there will be, what if they're trying to dilute it? Well, I don't know whether we can just simply go ahead and on a presumption that these kind of things may happen, that we will just simply go ahead based on a concept or an idea without really looking into the bill. Sir, that would not be appropriate process for the House to follow. But as I said, if the bill, whenever and as and when it comes, which we don't have any idea about, this has just been talked in the media, in this come out, many questions have been asked to me, to many of our leaders. Until unless we don't see what's the copy of the bill, it will be very, very difficult for us to comment in that line. Therefore, sir, I would like to not take too much of time, But I would like to conclude here by just simply saying three things which I have already elaborated. The first, sir, is that as a concept and as an idea, the UCC goes against the entire idea of India, which is the diversity. And hence, as a concept, it is not something that any of us can agree to. Number two, if there is any proposal or any bill that is brought in to dilute the rights of the tribals or dilute the practices of the tribals and the indigenous people and the religious practices of our people, or the different kind of marriage and inheritance laws that is going to affect our state and our people, the government and the assembly, and I'm sure all the members of this house, will never agree to it. But the question is, the bill has not even been brought. There is no draft of it, there's no documentation of it, and the question of it coming in Parliament or Lok Sabha being introduced is completely ambiguous right now, and there is no such move. And hence, as and when that comes, that's the only time when we can actually comment on what's the bill going to be and how the stand of the government will be. So I also would like to update the House that the Law Commission has asked for the inputs of the state government, and we have already fixed a time where the cabinet will go through the suggestions that have been made. But I can share to all of you that it will be in line with what I have already mentioned to you, that if there is any move to dilute any of our practices, the government and the state will oppose that particular move, will be the stand, and therefore details of that are there, but I will refrain from going into all of it. It's quite lengthy, but that will be the crux of the suggestions that will go to the Law Commission. And therefore, sir, with these few words, as I said, I respect the concerns, I respect the sentiments of all the members, and let me assure you, I share the same sentiments. And therefore, let there be no doubt that we are all on the same page. But proper procedures and legislative procedures need to be followed for us to be able to move a resolution on a subject like these. The details of the entire resolution and the details of all the bills that will come up will be needed. Simply because, sir, as I said, if the bill tomorrow, I have been saying it on a lighter note. I don't mean to say it on a serious note, but I'm just presuming. Suppose I could presume that we write to the Law Commission and say that 33% reservation has been given to women, or is planned to be given to women in the House, and therefore we recommend that the real empowerment of women can only come with also making India a matrilineal society tomorrow. And in a very, very low probability, the government of India, say for example, does accept that proposal of ours and says that yes, from tomorrow, whole of India is going to be a matrilineal country. I think we will not oppose that UCC. So therefore, it depends on what is going to be there in that content. I can presume it will be there, it will not be there, you can presume something else, but I guess we cannot move forward by going forward as a legislature to move in terms of what we presume may happen and pass a resolution on presumption that that was going to thing. But of course, outside the House, we have all expressed, and let me reiterate, that we are all united in opposition to any kind of dilution or any law that will come in to dilute the rights and the cultural practices of the indigenous people and of the people and different communities who reside in the state of Meghalaya, sir. So with these few clarifications, sir, I would request the honourable member, since I've clarified at length, I would request the honourable member if he could withdraw the resolution. Thank you, sir.
So, may I know the mind of the honourable member who has moved this resolution? Will he withdraw or not?
Can I say a few words, sir?
Yes, you may seek some clarification.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to thank to all the members participated in my resolution, and especially to the Honourable Chief Minister. And I also thank that he as he stated for the last few months that we have seen in the social media, that he also said that UCC goes against India's identity, and now also he has stated that he's very concerned about the implementation of the UCC. Yes, sir, we have not seen the contents of the bills. I agree with the Honorable Chief Minister. Some of my friends asking me, "But Charles, why you are talking about the UCC? Since the UCC has not been, tabled in Parliament or passed the bill." Mr. Speaker, sir, I told my friends, if there is a bus driver, suppose you are a bus conductor, you will tell him, if you want to turn a bus, you will tell him, come. In Khasi, we say one. I asked him, you will stop the bus till the bus got an accident? He said no. Mr. Speaker, sir, as we are here as responsible leaders, as I have said before, prevention is better than cure. If Mizoram, Nagaland and Kerala pass resolution to oppose uniform civil code without seeing the contents of the bills, why not in Meghalaya? Why not in Meghalaya? What is the problem to pass a resolution? Mr. Speaker, sir, once again, with due respect to the Honorable Chief Minister, I also want to know, what is the mind of the government? What is the mind of the government? Suppose if the UCC is going to be passed in our country. That is my question to the Honorable Chief Minister, sir.
Sir, I have already replied, sir, that if the contents of the bill, as and when it comes out, once we go through it, and it goes against the rights of the tribals, so we have already mentioned that we are united and we will oppose that. My only question to the Honourable Member is, he said that what if the UCC is brought and it is passed? My question to him again is, can you please tell me what is in the UCC? What is it that is going to be passed in Parliament? Please tell me and I'll give you an answer, whether we will support it or not. If the UCC bill has matrilineal system that will be adopted by the whole country from future, Parliament passes that as UCC, I think all of us will support that bill that says that from tomorrow India is going to be a matrilineal society. So I don't know what the bill is. So what do I do? Do I support or not support? Sir, as legislatures, there is a way and a process of doing things. Outside the house, we have already given our stand and made our political messaging to the government of India and to everybody clear. But when we are in the house, so because somebody else does something, doesn't mean we don't follow the process and the procedure. For us to be able to act as responsible legislatures, we need the content of the bill to know what is it going to be. And the question also arises that whether this content is already there or not, nobody has seen it. Nobody knows what it is because it's not there. So on a fictitious and a situation where we are thinking what may happen and where we don't even know, what if tomorrow, as I said, the bill contains the point that is going to become a matrilineal country? We will be the first people to say, what did we do? We should have never passed this particular resolution without actually seeing the content. Therefore, sir, let me be again very clear. No doubt that Uniform Civil Code is a concept that we don't agree to.
I'm sorry. It is now 2 o'clock. So I will extend the House till 3 p.m. Honorable Chief Minister, you may continue, please.
So therefore, if the Uniform Civil Code, as I mentioned, tomorrow comes out, and suppose there is a particular provision that says that the matrilineal system will be followed, and suppose all other factors that are already there which we agree to, and as a legislature we all find that there's no harm in it to our people, and if we are completely exempted from all the aspects, and of course discussion will be made on that aspect, and then accordingly we will decide, sir. But today, as I said, prematurely, without even knowing what is in the content, just because another state has done it, that doesn't make us also, follow that and say that we will also have to do it. We have to think, we have to apply our minds. We have to understand the procedure that should be followed. We have to realize what we are opposing, what resolution we are bringing in, for what. We are going to be bringing a resolution today against a concept, an idea, which will have to be implemented and given in detail, which we have no clue about. What is the Uniform Civil Code going to be on? Is it going to be on marriage? Is it going to be on inheritance? Is it going to be, well, that's what the concept says, but we don't know what the bill says. So till we don't see that, how to oppose something which we don't know what it is? That is what we are trying to say, sir. So there's a time for everything. Have we made our stand clear? We have. In the public domain and in the press, we have already said we are against it. If it dilutes us and dilutes our practices, we are against it. But when it comes to passing a resolution, the procedure and the process has to be followed. We need to see what is it that we are opposing. It should not be the case that tomorrow we look at the bill and we say, well, there's nothing to oppose. I'm just saying, we only will come to know when we see the bill. Maybe it's everything is to be opposed. Well, then we will oppose it that time. But therefore, sir, all I'm trying to say is that don't take my statement of not supporting this resolution as my stand on this concept. My stand and the government stand is very clear, as I said. We oppose the UCC. We oppose the entire concept of UCC and any move to dilute our practices. The question arises, passing a resolution has to be based on facts, figures, bills, details, acts when it's passed. Then only can we comment. That's what I'm trying to say, sir. So is the issue important? It is absolutely important. Are we united? Absolutely we are. Are we against it? Yes, we are, as an idea and a concept. But till we don't see the details of the bill, it will be futile for us to speak about it because it's not even there, is what I'm trying to say, sir.